Don't forget to click the subscribe button. You're in trouble. Because, notwithstanding the cunt way that political correctness has taken over the world, there's a lot of people that believe, as I do, until I see a man goddamn take a fucking drink, I don't fucking trust him. And I fall into that persuasion. Now, some of you shouldn't drink for a reason, because you can't fucking drink. Because you're a cunt. We are coroned up here, almost all because of Sally and her crack staff. We are blessed the fact that I built this 1 million pound albatross a number of years ago, that we have now something to fucking do with it. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having seminars. And as I said in March of last year, we are going to have some form of corona forever. There's many places on the planet where masks are a way of life. For a reason. We've only had one bit of serendipity good luck in 28 years that I've been doing this. And that's COVID-19. It's the only goddamn fucking good bit of luck we've had. Whereas the world is suffering. And I'm sorry, as I said in March, I hope Corona stays forever if people didn't have to die. Because it's the best fucking thing to happen to us ever. And I mean ever. We're going to go through a lot of examples this week of people that have hit it for six, to use cricket terms, have hit grand slam home runs, to use American baseball terms. But I'm saddened that some people have taken the foot off the accelerator. We haven't had a seminar here since December of last year. We had a hardcore. And because I saw almost everybody you're going to hear on the webinars, and these are live people in the trenches, are going to say the same thing. They're going to say in different words, I don't want to say it's easy, but it's easy. They say it a lot of different ways, but they all say the same thing. So when you fail like a cunt, what does that make you if it's easy? What does that say about you? Well, it says several things. Number one, all your parents were cunts anyway, for the most part. You wouldn't be here if you had a parents who had a pair. By the way, how many people in the audience are English not their primary language? Okay, if they didn't have sax, you wouldn't be here. Verstehen? Entiendo? Okay. Virtually every statistic, every metrics, every indice that we use to measure has almost doubled during Corona. 97% up. That's close enough for fucking government work. We'll call it 100%. Sales, deals, money raised, etc., etc. I can go on and on. Have almost doubled. If the success ratios and the indices were out of this motherfucking world beforehand, what are they now? You can't find words to describe it. And when I go through what bitfuck is, as Charlie the Munger said, as rat poison squared. And we got some bitfuck guys in the audience. Praise the Lord. And pass the ammunition. I got a few people that fucking I'm going to beat up on all of you. But the bitfuck guys, I'm going to really take a lash to. Every single thing, I'm sorry to say, that I predicted in March of last year has come to fruition. Not 40%, not 20%, not 80%. Every motherfucking thing I said has come to fucking fruition. I told you there was going to be a second wave. I told you there was going to be a fucking third wave. I told you there was going to be a fucking fourth wave. And what do we have? Just as I called when oil went negative, just as I called the first peak in Bitcoin in December 2017 at 17,000. I'm going to make some predictions starting tomorrow that will shrink your fucking sacks for those of you that have testicles. Not much of testicles. They will shrink your sacks. Como se dice en español, shrink their sacks. I'm serious. Cat got your tongue? Como se dice? Come on, pendeja. It's going straight to your grandmother. Kids, when I tell you I'm telling you what the fucking Lord knows, I mean it. The challenge was 28 years ago when I started, and my 28th anniversary just passed a few weeks ago. I was the only one that did it. And I thought that we would fill up Coliseum in Los Angeles, the Coliseum. But we had 61 people that paid $1,000 for my first seminar on May 23rd, 1993. Bruce the Whipple was there because they decided, well, I'm not Dan. Well, we haven't had a Dan ever since. So if you've come here thinking that you're going to be me, you're fucking wasted your fucking... Well, most of you wasted your fucking money anyway. Well, now we've got meathead after meathead after fucking meathead that have made millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, billions, tens of billions, hundreds of billions. Just dipshits that should have rolled down your mama's leg like you. Some of you actually think that you made a sacrifice coming here because you went through quarantine. Well, if you think that was a sacrifice, you're going to fail. Because you haven't begun to make fucking sacrifices yet, you fucking weenies. A couple hundred years ago, Britain, small island that we're on now, ruled the world with something called gunboat diplomacy. They ruled 2/3 of the planet. Did they ask anybody, please, thank you? No. And now look at Britain in a fucking bag of shit run by morons, especially up here in Scotland. I said a year and a half ago this was our time. We have now proved it. I was right, although I like being right. It was our time, but it's only the beginning of our time. Because everybody is still scared shitless. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about the 15-year-old that did $53 million deal to celebrate his 16th fucking birthday. $53 million to celebrate his 16th motherfucking birthday. Now, we all know when you were 16, you were jerking off. Making your computer sticky, as one of the kids told me once. Now, I don't know how a woman makes her computer sticky masturbating at 16. I don't know that. That's too much information for me. I don't understand that. And I don't want any of the ladies to explain it to me either. Just so you understand, I'm not asking this as a come on, so to speak. As you can see, I'm excited to be here, contrary to what you might have thought. I'm excited for the opportunities that you kids can and should avail yourself to. Doesn't mean you will, because this is a simple fucking program. There's only one moving part, and that's a motivated seller. That's it. And the next part is to follow the steps. And we're doing deals left, right, and center. And we, in the last 3 years, and one of the new incumbents of the Hall of Fame has created $300-400 million in a place I've been told for at least 40 years you can't do business with QLA. But you've got to want it more than you want fucking air in your fucking lungs. Otherwise, you're going to be in the 4, 5, 10, 12-year program. And we have stars that have taken 12, 13 years to create generational wealth. I'm not here to teach them. I'm here with the kids. We've had several exits during Corona. Less than 12 months exits from the time that they came to the seminar to the time they exited with their sale of their business in less than 12 months. 7 months, 9 months, 11 months. We got a kid, one of the only kids that ever asked me, how many times do you think I'm going to get my seminar fee back? And when he went, it was 20 grand. I thought, well, it's still 20 grand plus VAT. 70 million in 7 months. But he's a hard-working motherfucker. Unlike you lazy cunts. No education. I'd like to say he's illiterate, but he's not. But I'm going to say it anyway for the story. Illiterate. Pendejo. From Central America. No, Colombia, South America, right? Colombia, South America. Sounds better if he was from Central America. Sounds better if he's from... Roberto, you're from Guatemala now. Forget that shit. But you'll come up with reasons why. Happens to be a good-looking guy. I like to think that part of the reason I made all the money is because I'm a good-looking guy. But Roberto would think that all the reason he made all his money because he's a good-looking guy. I can't emphasize it enough. And tonight you start with homework, and if you don't do your homework and you don't type it up and you send it to Kim by tomorrow morning, don't come to class because you'll be escorted off the estate. I'm going to say it again real slow. Again, verstehen, for those that don't speak English, if you don't do your fucking homework tonight and you don't send it to Kim and she doesn't get it by 9 o'clock this morning, don't come to class because we're going to escort you off the estate. And if you think the homework is a joke, we grade it. The seminar's changed for this seminar. We've taken what we thought was the best practices, and we've shrunk them down to the best practices. Just one example I'm going to give. We used to give you the slides for the seminar. You don't get the slides. Because we've done our maths, as they say in this country, and the statistics, and the kids that take the most notes, 99% of the time are the ones that prevail. I'm going to say it again. The kids that take the best notes, 99% prevail over everybody else. So we're not going to give you the crutch of the slides anymore. There's 5 or 6 other changes, which I don't want to scare the YouTube cunts. But you're here and they're not. You're here under what would be called reasonably difficult circumstances. But I'm recalled, for those of you that remember, 8 or 9 years ago, volcanoes erupted and in Iceland, and the airports were closed and all this shit. Remember that? We had a seminar. We were supposed to have 18 people. 11 showed up. All German. Not one non-German came. The fucking Nazis show up no matter what. We're so fucking lucky they didn't wake up Hitler from his fucking nap, or we speaking German here. If you want it bad enough, now rumor has it, which is a lie, but the Germans like to, exaggerate, that some of them swam the channel. I doubt that very much. In fact, I'm positive they didn't swim the channel. But they were here. Why did only the Germans show up? Now you'll say because it's right across the water, right? We had people from France that didn't come, which doesn't surprise anybody. We had people from Belgium, Portugal, Africa. They could have come that way. But only the Germans came. Two of our most recent superstars are both German. Our third, fourth, and fifth superstar wannabes that are going to be on the Superstar Hall of Fame are all German. The others are Asian. Why? Well, I can speak to the fact about the Germans. Once the Germans get it, they go crazy. They're a little slow in the beginning, but then they go nuts. There was a reason why they did so well in the Second World War, and thank God nobody woke up Hitler to stop us at the beaches of Normandy, which the celebration was just a couple weeks ago. The seminar will have, depending on how good or bad or mediocre you are, between 12 and 20 live webinars with successes out in the real world. Successes out in the real world. And the seminar will change based on when I look at your homework tomorrow. If you write it tonight and I get it tomorrow, I read all your homework at lunchtime. I don't even want to have dinner with you. Sally makes me. I don't have lunch or breakfast with you. But at lunchtime, I'm looking at your homework. And the seminar will change based on how you answer the homework. And the homework's not a joke. The homework is not answered yes, no, true or false. The homework is answered in paragraphs, and the more you write, the better I like it. The more you write, the better I understand. Once we've had dinner, we will regroup in here, just as you're seated. Are these their permanent seats? Okay. These are your permanent seats for the week. And I will do a little song and dance up here, explaining the homework more definitively. And then I'll leave, and then you'll start, and you'll see some videos, etc., which you will pontificate about. And remember, success leaves clues. I'm going to talk about the mini-me's this week. There's about 100 people that are pretending to be me out there on the internet right now. And some of you have been to other seminars. Some of you will go to other seminars after this. I don't know why, but you will. But I would ask you to ask yourself, has this fucker made any fucking money? Other than putting asses on seminar seats and selling product on the internet. The answer 100,000% of the time will be no and no. Yet you'll still go. Because they tell you it's easy to create generational wealth. Now, we've got other guys now using the term generational wealth, which I find amusing. We have other guys and a few gals that are using the term, this is the biggest transformation of wealth in the history of the planet. Who said that first? Me. And did you sign up and you pay your 900 pounds or euros or 1,825? I don't understand. P.T. Barnum was right. He said there was a sucker born every minute. I think there's a sucker born every second. You have such an advantage when I named it QLA, quantum leap advantage, I didn't realize how big an advantage you were going to have, because I didn't realize that self-esteem and self-confidence is a rare commodity. It's a rare commodity. Some of you young guys come here, you just want to get laid. I can't, I'm getting dizzy. I don't understand. There's more to life than getting laid, but when you're as young as some of you are, no, there isn't. There is not any more to life than getting fucked. If you think so, you're talking to a rabbi or somebody, but when you're young, if you're not getting fucked, and I'll tell this one story before we retire for dinner. Back in my youth, when I was single, I went to whatever the dick doctors were called at the time, because I thought I was going to run out of sperm, that I couldn't ejaculate anymore. Because I had heard a rumor that between 32 and 35,000 times, that's all I had. And I was running out of runway, rapidly, 32 to 35,000. And I was concerned that I wasn't going to be able to pleasure enough people, because I wasn't worried about pleasuring me. But fortunately, that was a lie. That was an urban myth, because I've easily surpassed that in my 75, almost 76 years. Hit it. And if anybody abuses the staff at all you say is, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, 3 piles high. I will personally choke you out and throw you out the fucking seminar. On that happy note, adjourn to your evening meal. Thank you.